If you've been hearing the buzz and watching all the reels on the first ever Hallmark Channel Christmas Cruise on the Norwegian Gem and thought, oh my God, FOMO! I need to book for next year, right flipping now! Hold up. My sister and I just returned from the 4-night Hallmark Christmas Cruise to Nassau 3 days ago, and I'm about to give you the inside scoop on exactly what it was like. From the Hallmark stars on board, activities, venue, crowd, food, and pricing in a no-holds-barred review. By the end of this video, I'll have you saying, yay, I'm booking, or hell no, I won't go. Grab your Christmas balls, ladies, let's do this. Heads up, there are 3 things that you need to know about all of my reviews. Number 1, I am a candid straight shooter. If you are someone who is easily offended by a differing perspective than your own, this may not be the video for you. Reviews by their very nature are subjective, and these are all my personal opinions. Number 2, fair and balanced. I call balls and strikes as I see them. I do this specifically so that all my ladies have all of the information that they need in order to make a smart buying decision. Number 3, and most importantly, I bow to no one. I took the cruise as a regular anonymous passenger in order to get the full, true experience that you would get if you chose to do the cruise. I do this specifically because I want the freedom to speak my mind in its totality, and that is exactly what I do. Cutting to the chase, ladies, the bottom line is this. The actual event production was good, festive, and well organized. The Hallmark stars were gracious, fully engaged with their fans, warm, friendly, and quite frankly, they made the trip. The problem was the venue, which was the Norwegian Gem, which is best described as a budget-friendly cruise of 3,000 passengers, and it showed. Let's dive in. Last year in 2023, the Hallmark Channel announced its first ever Hallmark Channel Christmas Cruise, which was set to sail from Miami to Nassau for 4 nights in November 2024. As you may surmise, it sold out immediately. Smartly, they added a second sail cruise, which is the one that my sister and I just finished taking. Hallmark chose the Norwegian Gem as the venue and hired 6-man productions in order to coordinate the entire event. Think of it like hiring a wedding planner. The event was to be filled with the Hallmark Channel Christmas experience, including a myriad of daily Christmas-themed events from cookie decorating, ornament making, Christmas carol sing-alongs with the Hallmark stars, an ugly Christmas sweater party, and a holly jolly pajama party with the Hallmark stars as well. There were ongoing Hallmark movie marathons displayed on a gigantic screen in the main common area, and of course, photo ops and interacting with a number of your favorite Hallmark stars who were on board the ship. Passengers were encouraged to decorate their cabin doors, which really added to the fun, festive feel of the entire environment. My sister, for some reason, decided to decorate ours with the Grinch. No idea why she did that. Naughty and nice Christmas mugs and gave me my choice. Which one do you think I chose? Naughty, naughty. And Christmas jars full of Hershey's Kisses, which came to be lifesavers later on. More on that in a bit. Throughout the entire vessel, they had beautifully decorated Christmas trees, wreaths, garlands, and even a Starbucks right by where all the movies were being shown, so you could easily grab a hot latte, cuddle up, and watch all your favorite Hallmark movies. Okay, ladies, let me state the obvious because I know you're thinking this. Antithetical to, what I normally do, this is not a luxury travel experience. Not at all. My sister and I just love Hallmark Christmas movies. We thought it would be a fun sister trip, and so we adjusted our expectations accordingly, or so we thought. We were thinking, okay, Marriott, not Four Seasons. Really what it ended up being was more Ramada Inn. No offense to Ramada Inn, I'm just being candid. We flew into Miami from San Diego on Saturday afternoon, had the Four Seasons pick us up, take us to the Four Seasons in the Brickell district. The Four Seasons Brickell is only about a 15-minute drive to the port, so this seemed like a nice, easy way to kick off the trip. Rounding our way into the elevator, and you guys can only imagine I walk really fast because I'm going someplace. I round the corner and I just about mow over Guy Fieri, who happened to be there for some sort of a charity event. So I was completely caught off guard, and before I could catch myself, I yell, Guy Fieri! I know, completely embarrassing. He just goes, hey, how you doing? I can't remember the last time that I saw my sister laugh that hard. I live in Southern California. It's not uncommon to see celebrities. I never geek out over them. And Guy Fieri! Sunday morning, our driver dropped us off at the port in order to board. That was an experience. Okay, now full transparency, ladies, I am not a cruise person. I've been on one cruise, and quite frankly, it was so long ago, I really don't remember much about it. So if during the course of this review, I say something that you're like, duh, okay, well now you know why. The Norwegian Gem holds just under 3,000 passengers, and this was a sold out event. But credit where credit is due, they do a very nice job of ushering people where they're supposed to be and making it as seamless and painless as possible, truly. My sister and I had booked the penthouse suite, which means that we had a concierge that met us and took us back to a separate seating and waiting area for all of the suite passengers. This essentially means that we got to board first, debark at port first. We also got dedicated restaurants for breakfast and lunch. Our room, we were assigned a concierge and a butler who basically handles any requests that you have during that time. Entering the ship, the cabins were not yet ready. Basically had everybody wandering around aimlessly waiting for their rooms, which I found really super annoying and pedestrian. That being said, the ship was branded very nicely throughout, with festive colors on all of the elevator doors, branded festive banners, wreaths, garlands, a gorgeous Times Square style Christmas tree in the middle of the ship with all the lights, absolutely gorgeous, a big stage and seating set up for all of the entertainment. Our cabin was fine. It was their penthouse suite. It was about 360 square feet with a 60 square foot deck that was right at the front of the ship. We had originally wanted a room in what they call the Haven. It's supposed to be their most luxurious ship within a ship accommodations, but they were sold out. I highly suspect that this is where they housed all of the Hallmark stars, and for good reason, they should do that. The pricing was extremely affordable, thus the term budget-friendly cruise. I think that the least expensive room that you could get was $1,500, and then ours for what they call the penthouse suite was $3,600 a person. About the people who went, eyeballing it, I would say that about 90% of it were all women. I'd say sisters like my sister and I, moms with adult daughters, groups of girlfriends, lots of fun. The remaining 10% were couples, probably husbands who got dragged along. Very few, if any, kids, which I was happy about because I think that would have pushed me over the edge. What to expect in terms of the experiences. The cruise was kicked off that evening with what they call a celebration and a tree lighting ceremony with all of the Hallmark stars up on the stage leading you in Christmas carol singing. It was a great way to kick everything off and get in the spirit. I even had a glass of Prosecco. My sister comes back, she hands me the glass and says, "Here, please drink this." That's what sisters are for. My sister's name is Vicky, by the way. You guys probably saw a number of reels of us on Instagram. Her name's Vicky. We're 18 months apart and I'm the older sister. On the daily, there were a litany of different onboard holiday events to choose from. A Q&A panel with the Hallmark stars, Christmas karaoke, a silent night disco with the headphones, Hallmark trivia games, ornament making, and the one that I was most excited about and really wanted to attend, which was the Christmas cooking decorating. Unfortunately, my sister and I went to go, and you guys, there was literally a line out the door, down the hall, and so far down, my sister and I were like, I'm not standing in line to decorate a cookie. About the Hallmark stars. Okay, there were 11 Hallmark stars present, and most everything was hosted by Jonathan Bennett, who you may recognize from many of the Hallmark movies. Honestly, he could not have been a better host if, well, they probably did pay him, but he was incredible. Think a dark-haired Ryan Seacrest. He was charismatic, engaging, he's quick on his feet, upbeat and fun, and he just kept the fun moving along. I went completely incognito, which means that I really had the opportunity to just kind of sit back and watch all of the Hallmark stars and see how they interacted with their fans, because I knew I was going to be reporting back to you. Let me tell you, they were the absolute highlight, shining stars, no pun intended, of the entire event. It was their warmth, their graciousness, their sincerity, and the authenticity with which they interacted with every fan, which really made the event. Specifically, I want to call out Mr. Benjamin Ayers in a good way. After one of the midday Christmas carol sing-alongs, all of the stars came into the audience in order to interact with their fans, take pictures, sign autographs. So of course what ends up happening is everybody starts lining up to get pictures and that with their favorite star. I watched Benjamin Ayers for a good 45 minutes. Somebody had to do it. I watched him welcome and interact with every single fan as though they were the only and most important person in the entire room without looking over their shoulder to see who else was around. And you know how that happens. I saw him sit down and talk to a gentleman in a wheelchair one-on-one, both before and after his picture, just to make sure that he felt welcome and appreciated. And you know what? I just think that says a lot about a human being. I walked away feeling that all of the Hallmark stars who were there were legitimately good, gracious, solid human beings. Check and check. In short, I would give the execution of the event for its intended audience an 8 out of 10. Many of the events didn't appeal to me personally, but admittedly, I'm probably not their target market. The downfall for me, and really what tanked the overall score of the experience, was the venue that they chose. The Norwegian Gem is a 3,000 capacity, budget-friendly cruise ship, and it showed. It is literally like the Ramada Inn on water. Substandard rooms, absolutely inedible food, and a spa that is literally the worst spa experience that I've ever had in my entire life, bar none. It shouldn't even be called a spa. The food was so bad, you guys, and not just unhealthy, inedible. Substandard quality food that was either overly salted, overly sugared. I ordered spaghetti squash with marinara sauce thinking, okay, well, you can't screw that up. I think that it was REViEW that they served, but had added a lot of extra sugar to it. My mouth puckered up, and you know I'm big on etiquette, but I couldn't swallow it. I had to discreetly put it in my napkin, and then I discreetly walked over and put it in the garbage can. It was that bad, you guys. Candidly, the food was so bad, I am astounded that a cruise line can get away with serving people that and still remain a solvent business. Shame on Norwegian Cruise Lines. It was so bad that my sister and I literally lived on Hershey's Kisses that she brought. We would order some fruit plates to the room, and then we also ordered big carafes of hot water because my sister brought these protein hot chocolate drinks that we thought we would just have for fun. It sort of hits your sweet tooth, but it's got protein in it, and that's pretty much what we ate the whole time that we were there. Also, there were inordinately long lines, or at least longer lines than what I'm used to. Go get a Starbucks latte and the lines around the corner. Go to an event, the lines around a corner. I don't know, maybe that's what you expect on a cruise line that large. I found that frustrating. I didn't particularly care for it. The gym, and yes, I did work out while I was on board. The gym was pretty good. I was perfectly fine, and I did get good workouts there. Enough to hold you over until you get home. Let's talk a little bit about the spa services, because I want to give you a fair warning, ladies, because it is expensive, and I want you to make sure that you have your eyes wide open before you schedule yourself for a service there. I found it more pleasurable to buy a used car than going to the spa. Their whole MO is to get you in, have you pay for the service, and sell you a ton of different services and supplements based off of whatever they think you might need. Case in point, my massage therapist was, no joke, trying to sell me a service that she said, I guarantee it will take 8 inches off of your entire body. I'm like, I'm 98 pounds. Know your audience. I'd scheduled a 100-minute massage, and at the risk of boring you with the details, here's what I'll tell you. They were 15 minutes late coming to get me, and they take you directly back to the room versus a legit massage, which is going to take you back to get your locker, a spa robe, slippers, allow you to use the facilities, the wet and dry sauna, the retreat room where they normally have snacks and little goodies, and then your therapist comes in to get you. No, not with this. They take you right back to a very stark room, and then you sit down for their sales presentation, which is essentially them performing a needs analysis on you. How much sleep do you get? How much stress do you have? Because they're trying to decide what supplements to sell you. They also have you sign off on the price with a 20% gratuity added on. Now, normally at a legit spa facility, they do add in a 20% gratuity, but it's not until you leave and are finished, and you always are permitted to adjust it as you see fit. It's done more as a convenience. With this, you're signing off before they even start on you. By the time I got on the table, it was about a half hour past the time of my scheduled massage. Did I get the full 100 minutes? No. They ended exactly on time, which means my massage was about 75 minutes. Do as you please, but that's fair warning as to how the spa works on the Norwegian Cruise Lines. The other thing that I didn't particularly care for, and I found especially especially demeaning, and I think you will too. Every time you walked in or out of the main buffet area, which we only did a couple times, there was an employee standing by the door with a big thing of Purell yelling, "Washy, washy, happy, happy, washy, washy, happy, happy." I am not kidding you. That is legitimately what they said. If you think that maybe it was just a one-off and it was just an overly exuberant employee, no. It was every single time. And throughout the ship on the LED ship display boards, it would say, "Washy, washy your hands." Yes. In short, the venue was not a good choice. It didn't do the entire production any favors. It was too crowded, too low budge, inedible food, which for me brings the overall score of the Hallmark Channel Christmas Cruise to a 1 out of 10. Okay, ladies, so if you're thinking, you know what, Shelly, who freaking cares? I have been on the Norwegian Gem before, I enjoyed it, then you should definitely go. They are currently selling and booking for next year's cruise. It's going to be taking place on the Norwegian Joy, FYI. If all of what I've told you makes you cringe, don't go. If the Hallmark Channel happens to be watching this, my suggestion to make this a much more enjoyable cruise for maybe another market is a much smaller capacity ship, maybe 450 people, for a more intimate upmarket experience would make this a lot more enjoyable and festive. And I would probably go. Know what else is festive and fun? My next video. 21 great gifts and stocking stuffers under $50. Happy holidays, ladies. See you soon. Making plans.